Hello and welcome back everyone, this is Allura SC, finally back at you with another Fortnite tutorial video. Now before we go into this video proper, I would strongly recommend you guys who have not watched our previous YouTube video on our trap schematics and weapon perk rolls, please go ahead and check out that video right now, because we will be referring to many of these traps and their various roles in this particular video. Now with that out of the way, I would also like to go ahead and do a bunch of shoutouts to some very important people who have been able to help make all of these videos as well as our channel to keep on doing what we're doing and producing content for you guys. So first and foremost, I'd like to say a huge thank you to JPV96, YMix, Lil Mama, Grandpa, LP Mad Medic, AJ182, Demon Joe France, as well as Sakura. You guys are MVPs. Thank you so much for all of your amazing generosity and contributions. Also shoutouts to David Farewell, Cheksky, Rainy078, Eric, YDS, Snoozen, Kai Kelly Cocos, Shiro, Mergim, Lord L, as well as Mad Dog. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Okay, so last and not least, I would also like to do a huge dedication of this video to the people who have helped and poured out their time and their effort, clashing and butting heads, you know, exchanging the ideas and agreeing and disagreeing and be like, yo, this trap works, no, this one doesn't work, no, I like this funnel, no, this tunnel sucks, you know. All of these people that I'm listing right now, all of these guys, thank you all very much, particularly to Moth E. Yeah, he's basically my partner in crime. We've been going at this pretty much every single day since Endurance came out, and we were all like, you know, disagreeing and agreeing, and I'm be like, you know, testing all these weird and strange and out there ideas, and he like, no, Allura, that's a bit too much, you know, this is a bit more efficient, this is going to be a little bit more you know, better in terms of its simplicity, yeah. And I'll be down there chasing butterflies and stuff like that. So you know, we've been really working together with all of these amazing people. Thank you to the crew, the entire guild, Ascension. You guys rock. Thank you. All right, so with that out of the way, guys, let me go ahead and start up the video proper. Let's get into it. Okay. So as you guys can see, we are loaded in onto Amplifier C. At least on my map it is Amplifier C. Some of you guys know this as the Valley Amplifier. Yeah, the Valley Amplifier. So with that highlighted already, let me go ahead and start out from the very beginning. Let me go ahead and start out from the very beginning, from where the spawn is. Yeah, where the husks do spawn. Okay, so the spawn is going to be somewhere about here. Yeah, the husks do spawn in somewhere about this area here, as well as somewhere around this area here as well. I'm going to go ahead and deal with this right side first. That left side over there is going to be dealt with later. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and check out what we have going on over here. We managed to sneak in a couple of these spawn traps right here. Yeah, a couple of these gas traps right here. And if you guys are wondering what are these gas traps, for the most part, unless I mention otherwise, these gas traps are going to be the ones right here. 1 damage, 1 reload, 1 critical rating, 1 critical damage, as well as durability. Yeah, most of all of these ones are going to be rolled as such. So right at the start over here, we have 3 of these spawn traps, and we also do have this little nice lava streak over here that deals some nice damage to the husks that do spawn in. Right, so as we go up, we are going to be having some additional gas traps stuck up there as well. Basically a 2 rows of gas traps going right there. Okay, so as you can see down here, we have the little lava strip over here. Okay, then you have the 3 gas traps there. As we head up, we have 2 dart traps placed right there. Gas traps, gas traps, gas traps. Okay, so as we approach this stair area down here, this is exactly how we've built it. We have a wall launcher right here. All of the wall launchers that you guys will see, all of them are going to be impact, impact, impact. 3 impact wall launchers unless stated otherwise. Okay? So all of these wall launchers, 3x wall launchers. Right. So very quickly, before we go into the building of this part over here, I would like to highlight to you guys, this area here is where there is going to be a little lava rock. Yeah, there is going to be a lava rock spawning somewhere about here and hitting this area here. So very, very important that you guys build exactly as how we have built it. Not 1 tile more, not 1 tile less. Okay? So as you see right here, this area here, built as such. Built as such. Right here. Okay? So, other things. We've gone ahead and did a little wall over here. We have also placed another wall over here. You guys might be asking me, why do you place these walls here? You know, the husk can't really walk up here. They're primarily to discourage flingers from walking about. You don't want the flingers to be walking about. You just want to close all of these areas off. Now, let's go ahead and focus on the starting part over here that you see. The lava rock has fallen and it has fallen behind safely, and none of our building pieces are actually broken. If you are not having certain tiles, the lava rock might shift and then you might have some of your funnels getting blown up. So some of the more crucial tiles that I will highlight to you guys to ensure the lava rock goes to where it is right now. This tile over here, instrumental. You cannot remove this tile over here. Once you remove this tile over here, the lava rock starts shifting and then you can have your build go bye-bye. Okay, so you want this tile over here as well as all these walls over here placed exactly as such. Right, so now with that out of the way, we have wall launcher over here, wall spikes, floor spikes over here, wall launcher over there, gas trap, as well as a broadside here. So when it comes to the concept, when it comes to the conceptualization of all these funnels, all of our entrances, whenever it has a 2x1 opportunity, we will be placing a broadside. Now, the reason for this, why we don't actually use broadsides anymore inside all of our funnels. We basically replace broadsides in the inner parts of these funnels because broadsides deal impact damage, wall darts do not. So what is the reasoning for this? As a broadside, when they fire the balls, they are dealing a bunch of impact damage. Each time they bounce, they're going to hit for a bunch of impact. Now, as a smasher is freshly walking up these stairs, they have full impact guard. So a bunch of balls aren't going to stagger them. So no big deal, right? It's probably going to stagger a couple of those little tiny husks, a couple of skinny husks, a couple of those bone throwing husks, whatever. Those ones don't really matter. They die most of the time to the gas traps anyway. Important ones are the smashers as well as the mist monsters, your flingers, as well as those laser boys and the husky husks as well. Those are the important ones. So you don't want the broadsides to tackle them. You want the wall launchers to hit them, and that's why we have the broadside right in the front to melt all of the little husks and all the trash husks first to gather the gas traps. And then from this point onwards, it's just going to be dart traps in the main funnels. Right, so next step over here. Wooden floor spikes, gas trap, wall darts, wall launcher. I go over here. This wall launcher sends them right back and out. Again, slowing floor spikes, gas trap up there. Looking towards this side over here, we have a wall dart. Right, so before we go into the funnel proper as well, there is another area here that they can also attack from. So we're going to go ahead and cover that. So this step over here, we've gone ahead and placed a wall off here, tier 3 metal. Tier 3 metal wall off over here as well. Okay, so gas trap to begin. We have broadside to begin, ceiling gas trap, wall launcher, sending them right back out. They progress to this tile, wall launcher, back here, out again, ceiling gas trap. All the ceilings are pretty much gas traps, so I don't want to spend too much time touching on those anymore. Wall launcher over here, spikes. Over here, wall launcher, the wall darts over here, sending them into a timeout room. Inside the timeout room, we have wall darts, broadsides on both sides, as well as retractable floor spikes. Broadsides, when it is placed in a 1-by-1 situation like this, they will bounce and hit roughly about 5 times. 5 times they will bounce all 3 balls. So that's going to be massive damage. Most of the time, all of your propanes and all of your huskies and stuff like that should start dying over here already. Right, moving on. This part over here is generally where I would recommend people, if you do want to do a start or an early slow field, this would be a perfect spot to drop your slow field right here. This part basically encompasses that right as well as left side spawns. This area here is where they all congregate, so you can get some good value slow field right about here. So spikes, gas, wall launcher, spikes, gas, wall launcher. This pushes them into a timeout room, gas, broadsides, wall darts. Yeah? Moving on. Tar pit right at the end over here. Now this tar pit down here is massive value. Why? Most of the time, by the time we get to this part over here, all of the trash husks, all of the huskies, your bone throwers, you know, every little trash husk, most of them are already dead. And the ones that do survive are going to be smashers, so they're all gonna stick right here. And having hit by all of these wall launchers over here, this one is going to be ready to go right off and send them right back into this entire funnel system where everything goes off once again, shooting them left, shooting them right, shooting them everywhere. Okay, so on the right over here we have a wall darts. I am aware that some people are saying that, yeah, you know, you can make use of that tile behind over there. I choose not to. So this is exactly how we've done it. So tar pit over here, as we are heading up this ramp, you can see this part has been walled off. We move up this ramp over here, we have placed yet another tar pit on this side to greet all of these husks. And not just that, before the tar pit gets hit, we have a wall launcher over here, gas trap, wall darts over here. And over here on this tile, this also serves as an additional piece of resistance. We have retractable floor spikes. Now, let me highlight to you the part, this design. How does it work? So as the husks are walking up this part over here, they're mostly going to get caught on this little tile over here. That's going to send them backwards. If it doesn't, they're just going to walk up here. As this part over here triggers, the wall launcher here over triggers, it sends them flying, clips them on their feet, and pushes them onto this corner over here, where we have retractable floor spikes as well as wall darts and a gas trap. This is a little mini timeout room, if you will. Now, if the husks do not get hit in body and sent over here, yeah, they can actually also, as they're walking up this part over here, get caught on this tiny little corner right here on this tar pit. Now, as they are caught over here and this wall launcher reloads and fires, the beautiful part about how this wall launcher fires, it no longer fires them to that corner over there. It fires them to this corner over here. I have seen this happen multiple times during testing and it works perfectly. Caught here, wall launcher sends them right into this timeout room right here. Do note that all of these pieces that we've been building with are all tier 3 metal. Tier 3 metal. So, timeout room, yeah, I think pretty much as we are talking about timeout rooms, you guys can safely assume that it's going to be broadside, wall darts, as well as retractables. This is how we have chosen to go with our timeout room setup. Okay, so as they are flung over here, they get hit by all these stuff. Over here, we have a 5 times floor launcher right here. So anything that manages to survive this generally means smashers. Most of the regular husks should die to this setup or this setup already. But if in the off chance that they do not, if you're playing in a 4-player setup or something like that, you know, then right here, 5 times impact floor launcher. Yeah, 5 times impact floor launcher is going to send them right into the sky and probably delete them. Okay, So heading into the main artery, I'm not going to touch on that just yet. Heading back here, we have this. So over here, this floor launcher over here, this is a very crucial floor launcher. I cannot stress how important this floor launcher is. So this floor launcher here is 3x floor launcher, 3 impact floor launcher. This one over here, the reason why we have a 3x is because we want the reload speed. We want it to be consistent. It has a reload time of 4.3 seconds. 4.3 seconds. Same with that wall launcher. Alright, so with this floor launcher going off every 4.3 seconds, you will note that as we are climbing our way up right here, we have a tilted tile up there. And where does this send them? Husks that are hit by this floor launcher usually ends up either on this tile or right back into this timeout room right here, depending on the size of the husk. Basically resetting the husk over here. Okay, so other than this, we also have this wall launcher now. This wall launcher here is special. Why? It is not your regular 3x wall launcher. This in fact is a 4x wall launcher. Let me go ahead and showcase to you guys which one it is. It's this one right here. 4 impact with 1 reload. Now you might ask me, why Allura are we using this particular wall launcher? If you notice, the reload time on this is 5.6 seconds. The reload time on this is 4.3 seconds. What this does is that it staggers the wall and floor launchers, meaning with on different cooldowns, they are going to be able to hit husks, in different timings, which basically allows there to be higher uptime of CC on this one tile. So if this is on cooldown, this goes off. If this is on cooldown, this goes off, so on and so forth. Now, where does this wall launcher send them? Okay, glad you asked. 4 times impact wall launcher, how far does it go? So basically with our research team and the people who have been pouring time and energy into all these kinds of testing, they are basically telling me that when it comes to regular wall launchers, 3 impact wall launchers, they are going to be flying roughly about 3 tiles. Let me go ahead and showcase to you guys, on this tile over here so it's more easily seen. Okay, so if this was a regular 3x wall launcher, depending on the size of the husk, let's say it's a smasher or a larger husk, they are going to be hit and stagger somewhere about here, right about the end of a 3rd tile. If they are smaller size husks, they're going to be flying maybe somewhere about here on a 3 times wall launcher. Now, if you're using a 4 times wall launcher, you can basically add about 0.75 of a tile. So where would that be? Somewhere about perhaps here. Let's see, where's my key real quick. There we go. Alright. See, about 0.75 gain, it should be somewhere about here, if that was a 4 times wall launcher. Now this wall launcher over here that we are using for this particular demonstration, yes, you probably guessed it, this is a 5 times wall launcher. Now I know that this is probably a little bit excessive, but yeah, this base is aiming to be as highly optimized as possible. So this is a 5x wall launcher, and the intent and purpose of this is to get that additional 0.3 or 0.5 tiles more, so that it can actually send the husk right down. Okay, but more on that later. Yeah, we were talking about wall launchers, and we were talking about this part over here. So this wall launcher is a 4x impact wall launcher. It fires them off here into this pit right there. Basically fires them away from there and into this little pit over there. I'll cover that pit later on. Okay, so husk pathing. Let's follow the husk pathing once again. This important tile has been covered. We will see that we have a little slanted pieces up there as well. So we are going over here. Now, this this floor launcher over here was a 3 times reload floor launcher. This one over here also 3 times reload floor launcher. For the very same reason, we want it to be extremely consistent. If both of these happen to be on cooldown, or if it was insufficient impact to break the Smasher's impact guard, this one goes off, fires it off. Either it will land up here, which let me show it to you guys by the way. On top of this gas trap over here, we have planted a 5 times impact floor launcher, which is aiming to send Hus into the sky and to their deaths. Yeah, so that 3 times impact floor launcher is gonna send them up either to here or maybe somewhere here, depending once again on the size of the husk. Yeah, resetting everything, so on and so forth. Okay, so with this tile covered, we have not last, but this tile over here before it hits the base. Okay, so this floor launcher over here, yes, this one is actually going to be a 5x floor launcher. Now the reasoning behind this is most of the stuff should have been tossed back already, but if it wasn't, then on this tile over here, this last and final line of defense is hopefully going to send them all the way back to that tile over there. And if it doesn't, if it happens to not do that, then it is going to be serving as an additional damage tile if this wall breaks, or when this tile breaks. Let me correct myself, because more often than not, bosses are going to come through, you know, and they're going to start punching walls and stuff like that. So this wall over here, once it breaks, we no longer have that pushback mechanism, and it basically serves as a 5x floor launcher rather, that shoots Hus into the sky. So it becomes a damaging trap, serves 2 purposes, good stuff. Okay, so before we go ahead into other stuff as well, I would like to point out over here, there is a little bit of some high tier stuff going on over here. Okay, so this wooden floor spikes right here, yeah? What exactly does it do? What purpose does it serve? This wooden floor spikes over here is actually going to be having increased building health, 17% increased building health. If you guys notice over here, when you place it, it is actually going to be giving this particular tile 10k health. This particular tile over here is 10k health. I don't know why it's showing as 9k, but when it does update, you know, when it does update, it always goes to 10k. It gives it a little bit more health. This wall over here is also a full wall with wall darts, and the wall darts basically is able to fire through this diagonal piece and shoot 6 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exactly to our timeout room right here, same as this one over here as well. So the darts are basically going to be flying back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and hitting everything. Okay, so yeah, you might ask me, why, Allura, are you going to be reinforcing these walls? What is the point of having a little bit more health on this comparing to this? Glad you asked. Now, the reasoning for this is because when we have Hus being thrown left, right, and center, they are basically all over here, right? We want to split the Hus or spread them out a little bit so that they don't all go for the same tile. So by virtue of this, most of the Hus, as they come in from here, they are going to see if they can try and hit there. However, if they don't, you know, they have alternate options, because sometimes if more Hus come through here, you know, they sense that this tile's already been taken up, they might then split towards the sides. And that's also the reason why the sides over here are doors for some access, easy mobility to kite takers. And also, these upturn tiles as well, yeah, basically serve as an additional protection for any of the Hus coming through. So this tile over here, with it being strengthened, you basically are going to be pathing Hus a little bit differently. Hus from here, instead of going straight sometimes, might then path towards this left side instead, and giving this floor launcher, this wall launcher, tons and tons of value. Same thing pretty much for any of the Hus coming from any of the sides over here. So that is the reason why we actually have this tile over here. If not, we could always just close it off. But the reason why we have chosen to leave this open is because you want to have a lot of space over here. You don't want things called clog ups. When there are too many husks congregating, especially with this tar pit over here, if we have a whole lot of husks all stuck here like this, and the husks are thinking to themselves, oh no, this path here is blocked, this path over here is blocked, what am I gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna blow myself up. Terrible, terrible news. So with a tar pit over here, and to prevent clogging, you're basically opening up additional pathways for the husks to move around, and that's when all of these so-called fail-safe routes come into play. Okay, so since we're here as well, let me go ahead and point out that this is a 3x wall launcher, dart traps over here, 5x floor launcher, 5x floor launcher, 3x wall launcher. Why 3x? Because this part over here is a very short fall off. You don't really need that much. Right there, 3x. 5x, 5x, 5x floor launchers. Now, going over here, this part over here you'll see has a upturned tilted tile. All these tilted tile areas here with the floor launchers underneath, basically all of these floor launchers are 3 impact floor launchers. This gives us a nice little row of consistent 3x reload floor launchers that's able to catch any of these smashers that happen to be gambling around. Yeah, catch them and send them backwards onto our strong 5x floor launchers to take them all out. Okay, so with this side basically being covered already, this side over here, 5x floor launcher right here, 5x floor launcher, 5x, 5x, 5x floor launchers for some good value. This particular way that we have gone ahead and sealed up the amplifier, as you can see, just regular upturned tiles, doors on every side for good and easy accessibility. Tile up here, we don't ever want to leave your amplifiers naked or empty, because you know that's going to be causing all kinds of issues for the lobbers and flingers who might think to blow up your funnels instead. So make sure to keep on building things around your amplifier as it gets attacked. Also, at this point, some of you guys might be thinking to yourself, oh Laura, you know, why do you have so much stuff on this amplifier? My mind is going to blow up. I never said this tutorial is going to be easy. This is going to be a simple base. Not really. We strive for perfection here. We strive for as good as a build we can think of, and this particular amplifier always is a problem because this amplifier is always hit on wave 30. I've seen people, myself included, we have had this amplifier attack 4 times over. 4 times over. I've also been attacked on wave 29 on here and wave 30, back-to-back attacks on this same amplifier over here. If you do not build it strong, it will go down, and when it goes down, your run fails. And that's some sad times, right? And that's the reason why we have built it so strong in this particular manner. Okay, so we've gone ahead and touched on the main part of these pathing over here already. So let me just go ahead and veer off to the side over here. So some important points of note. This part over here is where we have the wall launcher right here. We don't want us to punch through. So by virtue of that, we have gone ahead and placed ourselves a little upturned floor piece. Upturned floor piece tilted as such. We also have a slanted piece over here. You can use stairs if you want to. I prefer slants. Tilted this way. Reinforced wall over here. Tier 3 metal. Tier 3 metal. All the way across. 3 tiles across right there. Sealing off this entire area here. This part over here is containing a gas trap underneath this. This part over here also a gas trap underneath this. So all this tier 3 metal, and this is where we have our little some people call it a gimmick, but it's actually very strong, yeah, when it does catch stuff. Floor launcher right here. Okay, so over here, this is where we had the funnel system. All of the tier 3 metal over there, sealing gas traps attached to every single one of them. Over there was where we were highlighting where the lava rock does fall. So over here, we've gone ahead and show you guys this part here. So some of you might say, Allura, You know, why do you place walls over here? Why not just leave them open? Now, this part over here, technically speaking, this entire lobber shield that we are putting up over here, yeah, in the earlier waves you could do away with it. It doesn't really matter as much. However, as a failsafe on the final wave, wave 30, meteor rocks fall from the sky. I have seen on too many runs I have seen the meteor rocks are falling and they're hurting all of these roof tiles over here, damaging them. And as they become more and more damaged, some of the flingers, some of the lobbers, they start to see, hey, this thing over here is getting broken very quickly. Let's go ahead and punch it down so they can start flinging. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Over here, same thing. These walls over here, things like laser boys, yeah, I think call them blasters, right? The blasters might start to punch through here because players, you know, on wave 30, you might be panic building, you know, be like, you know, the smashes are coming, you know, just building and building and trying to keep the smashes off you, you know, trying to keep the bosses around here. And by running around this area here, you might open yourself up to aggro on all these player targeting husks, bone throwing husks, zappers, blasters. All of them might target the player and they might think, hey, I'm gonna try and punch through these walls over here and try and target the player. That is bad news. So if you want to be ultra safe, this over here serves to keep you guys safe. 3 walls across, 4 walls on second floor, up above, tilted tiles up here. Failsafe, lobber shield, done. Don't have to worry about stuff coming in on that side anymore. So that basically does it for this left side over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out. Oh, one quick thing before I forget. So you guys might notice over here, this tile right here, I've gone ahead and left it white. Yeah, but only as a way to remind ourselves. So this part over here, why do I have this tile marked out? Why does it look so different from everything else that's all tier 3 metal around? Now the reason for this is because this is a nice and easy way for me to remember to put my base right here, or whoever is playing the constructor, you put the base right here. This part is basically ideally calculated. All of these parts over here, well, most of it actually, it basically serves to cover and centralize the damage output or buffing from your base ability. Right, this spot here, really good, hits all of your traps, or most of it at least, not the outer ones or not spawn ones. This spot here, so I've gone ahead and marked it out over here. You can upgrade it later if you want, but this is just for my personal reference. Okay. So let's go ahead and head out. You guys have seen all these areas here already. So this part over here has been covered. Let's go ahead and touch on this next side over here. So there's another spawn over here, right about this part here. And they're gonna walk up this side here. Basically, this part over here. Wait, have I touched on this part already? Oh, wait, I think I have. My bad, I touched on this part already. Let's see. This was the part I was supposed to talk about. My bad, I didn't go far enough. So, yes, there is also another spot over here. Another spawn over here that we can also deal with. Now, some of you guys might tell me, Allura, it is possible for you to wall this entire part up here. We just wall this entire stair over here, sandwich for days, sandwich for days, sandwich for days, and I have all of these husks that spawn from there to go up that other funnel on that side. Yes, you can certainly do that. But in our channel over here, we have this quote, we have this saying, our mantra, if you will, for our guild, is that consistency is power. Consistency is power. What we have noticed is that by doing stuff like this, we have noticed inconsistencies of sometimes smashes punching through, or perhaps a flinger trying to come off to this side and punch their way through to fling on this side as well. So to ease off congestion as well. One other point is to ease off congestion to make sure that we don't have, you know, too high volume of husk coming through this funnel and having tons and tons of clog ups. We are opening up this other area over here. So this is how I have chosen, or we have chosen to do this. You guys can close it off if you want to, but if you're asking me for my opinion, I'm opening it up. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. So spawn is right there. We have here, right about this step here, we have 2 wall-offs, 2 metal tier wall-offs. So right here, you guys could technically add additional damage if you feel the need to. Yeah. Right here, you could throw down another gas trap. You can also throw down a wall launcher over here, but I find that it is not needed for me. So if you need more damage, you can always rig up more traps here. Okay, so this was the part where we were talking about. There is a 2x3 area here that we just basically left blank. Tier 3 walls over here with metal. Okay. And yeah, let's start off the gas traps right here. So we have gas trap here, gas trap here. We have a wooden floor spike here, and a wall launcher. So the ones that do spawn in from that side are going to take this path. They're going to get hit by this thing. They're going to path towards this side over here. We have another wall gas trap here, wall launcher here, floor spikes here. Sends them off into this corner here. So during the course of our testing as well, sometimes we are seeing smashers actually come through on this part here. They'll walk up this stair over here, and they will come to this part here and punch this wall down, right? Which is really terrible. We don't want that. So we've gone ahead and walled this part here to encourage the smashers, or any of the husks really, that get sent onto this corner here, to have to go all the way back right up here to where they begun. Gas trap here. Gas trap, wall launcher here, slowing floor spikes, broadside over here. As I was mentioning, yes indeed, at the beginning or opening of every funnel, I like to have broadsides to clear out all of the trash husks. Okay, so that out of the way, over here we have added a tar pit. What we do need to take note also is that this particular spawn over here tends to be of a lower husk density. So by virtue of that, it is actually pretty safe to try and put more tar pits on this side, because you don't really concern yourself with too much clog ups. Alright, quick sip of water. Let's move on. So tar pit over here, wall launcher right here, gas trap, wall darts. Another tar pit, wall launcher, sitting gas trap, timeout room right here, broadside, wall darts, retractable floor spikes. Moving on. So this part over here, we have floor launchers, 5x floor launchers. Now, oops, I forgot to upgrade that. Okay, this part over here is where you might be seeing some strangeness over here. You might be asking me, Allura, what on earth is this? Okay, so just to put it out there, guys, this thing over here is not a glitch. Let me put that out there. This is not a glitch. We did not do anything, you know, to be doing any suspicious activity, you know, to hit into the go to where we're not supposed to be and put all this stuff. No. Okay, so if you're curious as to how these floor launchers get placed, let me show it to you guys right now. I'm not the only content creator who has done this as well. There are others also who have also done this. This is basically what we call a little way, you know, for you guys to actually place traps, yeah, on these kinds of little stair areas right here, allowing you to get some additional traps where you would otherwise not be able to. I think David Dean has covered this particular method as well. So I'm going to go ahead and try and angle ourselves in a proper manner real quick. Let's see. So, there we go. So what you saw over there, right there, this is how we are getting these traps. You have to go into your trap wheel, press this, alright, get the correct spot or angle, and then slap it down. Okay, So that's exactly how you do it. Sometimes these walls aren't needed. These are just to help you or assist you to get the correct angle to put all these traps down. Okay? So instead of this being a 2x1 setup, this is now a 2x2 setup. For those of you who feel uneasy, who don't feel like this is right and stuff like that, you know, by all means, it is your personal choice. I see it as simply a way to building traps on gaining some additional surface area. So if you guys choose not to, that's entirely up to you. Okay, so these 4 traps over here are 5 times impact floor launchers. 5 times impact floor launchers. I do realize I think I actually placed this in stone instead. That's actually a bit of a bummer. Let me see if I can correct this real quick while we're doing this before I forget. Okay, 5 times impact. Let's see. 5 impact. There we go. Okay, done. So yeah, back to what we were doing. So this little kill pit right here for 5x impact floor launchers right here. We have a 3 times impact wall launcher here to send them off into this corner and allow these traps over here to gain value as well. You basically just want to split the husk up and gain value from all of these trap funnels by pushing them across here. Okay, so up here, what else do we have? Opportunities for additional damage should you need it. If you don't need it, leave it open. If you do need it, chuck down some additional gas traps right here if you'd like to. The gas traps I would recommend at this point over here are probably going to be the high damage, no reload gas traps because the husk density here is very low. You can put these kinds of gas traps with 8-second reload with additional crit damage. The one that I've gone for is damage, crit rating, crit damage, and effect duration. So you get an additional tick of damage. Okay, so yeah, with that out of the way, over here you can also put another wall launcher if you want to. Really your choice. This was the wall launcher over here that I was talking about earlier. This one over here is a 5 impact somewhere. Okay, 5 impact wall launcher here that sends them off to the corner over there, at least theoretically. If it does not, you know, you guys can always bring out your rocket launcher and finish it off, sending them down, right? So that's basically it for this right side over here. Is this fully upgraded? Yeah, it is. Okay, great. So gas trap over here, this over here, 5 times floor launcher. This one over here, we have another wall launcher. I do believe this is a 3 times wall launcher or 4 times wall launcher. Either one works. I think I'm going with a 3 times for more consistency. Yeah, 5x here, 5x here, 5x, 5x all here. Okay, this part over here, you know, basically lesser husks, lesser smashes, but you know, you can always have people stand around and freeze them or shoot them off with rocket launchers and you'll be fine. Right, so think let's see, what else do we need to touch on? Yes, so lobber defenses or flinger defenses as well. You will notice that this part over here, as much as we have all these traps here, we also need to make sure to place walls here, or floors rather. You need to make sure to floor all of these parts up here. We've gone ahead and put tier 3 metal over here. This part over here is stone because I think I'm using it to demarcate, you know, our next amplifier. Yeah, our next amplifier over there. Just the zoning issues. Anyway, if you want to, you can always put all tier 3 metals, entirely up to you. But yeah, just want to highlight to you guys that there is in fact a lobber shield over here, or a flinger shield over here. Very important to have this, because if you don't have this, you are probably going to have lobbers or flingers veering off to the side over here and trying to find a good angle to toss into your base. So we're gonna hit and just floor this entire area up here. Points of reference, we are going to be using this little 2x2 pit, this little ridge over here, and then start walling off. Yeah, just start flooring this entire part off. Yeah, this over here is going to be our lava amplifier, but that's for another time. Yeah, that's for another time. Okay, so metal all the way out. here, all the way out here, up until this point, towards the stairs, all the way towards the stairs, right across, flushing it across all the way straight here. This entire area here just completely flushed. This one over here is an additional precaution for any of the flingers who might be trying to do silly things by tossing there. And yeah, there you go. This is our lava rock. It falls exactly how we want to. Right, I think I forgot to cover this part as well. So very quickly, before we move on, here, we've just gone ahead and blocked off this side down here. We really do not want, yeah, your lobbers and flingers to come through here. Bad news. So we just need to make sure to just put a good block off right here. If you guys feel like this is not enough, if you want to be a bit safer, you can always put some additional floor pieces there as well to bolster the defenses. But this should really be sufficient. And yeah. Wow. I guess we made it, chat. Chat? I guess we made it, guys. I guess we made it. So before we go ahead and end off some tips for you guys, especially if you're facing the last and final wave. So on the last and final wave, more often than not, the only things that should be giving you guys issues are the bosses as they're coming through. They're going to try and punch all your walls down. So really all you need to do is run around these areas here, right? And place little walls. I personally like doors with walls. I mean, walls with doors, that's what I meant to say. Walls with doors, and that's going to be very easy for you to dodge takers as well as you are trying to build some additional pieces for the bosses to run around and hit. Additionally, you know, if you feel like you need to get some height as well, you can also go ahead and do your, you can basically do your little BR90s or whatever the hell you want to call these things, yeah, to get some height as well. So that's just basically, you know, up to the player already. I would highly recommend at least one person, or rather one person or two people, just staying on the ground area here and just doing this over and over again to keep the bosses in check and replacing the walls. The rest of your team, I'm assuming that you guys are playing this in a team, or you can play this solo if you want to. Yeah, if the rest of the team is going to be available, you kind of want the rest of the team to be hanging out, you know, on a safe distance. You could always have them hang out up here, somewhere here, on over to the side over there, you know, actually not really over to the side over there, let me correct myself. You don't want them on the side over there. You don't want to aggro the flingers to go to that side. You all want to be here. Let me mark this area here. All of you guys stay here. Stay in this area, general vicinity over here, or alternatively, you can also hang out on top of the base here, okay, to be getting your shots off. Generally speaking, you don't want to interrupt your floor launches. Most of them should work. The only times that you want your team with the zeniths, yeah, or any of the weapons to be shooting is only if they are close to your base. They are very, very close. They are starting to hit on these walls. They are somewhere here. That's when you might want to consider shooting them. Alternatively, you can always aim at the takers if there are any around, but mostly they're going to be smashers. If you're getting any other particular wave, target the takers and keep them off your builder, or just target the smashers who happen to leak through these incredibly powerful systems and freeze them up to prevent them from touching your base. The smashers will not charge. I repeat, they will not charge if these slants are up. If they're still surviving, the smashers will not charge. They will walk over here and start punching them down first. Once they are punched down, that's when they start charging. Okay, so just focus on doing that to keep your base safe. Freeze smashers that are on the base. The rest of the smashers who are chilling out on these floor launches here, don't touch them. And the reason for that is because if you freeze them, then it interrupts the floor launches and prevents it from doing its thing. It prevents it from doing its thing. So no good. Don't interrupt. Yeah. One other top tip as well. Please, for the love of God, do not freeze things in this area down here. If I were to mark this area here, I'm probably just gonna mark this area here as danger spots. Do not freeze anything around these areas here. And the reason for that is because if you have a lot of stuff frozen over here, there's going to be a clog, and we all know what happens when clogs happen, yeah? You're gonna have a really nice explosive finish. So don't do that, please. Okay? And yeah, I think that basically covers it. Yeah, alright, seems good. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this rather lengthy video. Hopefully I've covered everything that you guys are thinking about. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any further questions, I'm sure some of you guys might have them. Feel free to ask in the comment section down below, or the best place really to be doing that as well is to be going over to our Twitch channel. Yeah, going over to our Twitch channel, Twitch TV Allura SC, yeah, and ask me directly. So yeah, with that, I'll see you guys next time. All right, Allura out. Bye bye.